Yep, I rang it right off the start today. That's what I did. Brandon Walker, more Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast. Here we go. What an incredible weekend for Mississippi State fans. What a hell of a weekend for Mississippi State. So much going on campus, so much going on everywhere as Mississippi State does what they're doing in baseball. I can't explain it, neither can you, but it is happening. Mississippi State loses 20-10 to Oklahoma to open the Tallahassee Regional. We start making plans to find out who the new coach is, and all the team does from there is go out and just beat everybody. They go out and beat Florida State in dramatic fashion. They beat Samford. Now they beat Oklahoma last night. They'll play for a regional championship today. We'll talk about that. Talk about the weekend that was in baseball. But baseball wasn't the only sport that had good news. Everybody had good news at Mississippi State this weekend. Football recruiting camp season opened this week, and Joe Moorhead isn't playing around. He isn't dilly-dallying around. Joe Moorhead gets 3 guys in the boat, 3 big-time recruiting commits for Mississippi State. We'll go over that later. Basketball, Ben Howland got in on the fun. He got a big-time commit for the future of his program. And last night, we found out Jim Schlossnagle, who we thought might be our new head coach, will not be Mississippi State's next head coach in baseball. So we'll discuss that. A very brief 2-minute drill at the end because we got a loaded show. So I've only got 3 2-minute drill questions. Although, Turp, I did like the question you asked me right before we went on the air, so I might tack that one on the end.
Feel free.
I might tack it.
Small fee, though.
Just remind me at the end. It was fudge-sickle or ice cream sandwiches? Okay. That is a great question. A great question. Go Dogs from Port Sulphur, Louisiana, Ronnie Wilkinson. Derek Meyer says everyone with their new coach fake news can go to hell. Well, that's Derek gets fired up. He does. He gets fired up. Brian Mandy Guess, Hale State, morning, Brandon. Hello, Brian Mandy Guess. Ringgold, Georgia, Danny E. Pinter. Mendenhall, Lance Chain. Hale State from Bentonia, Reed Burrell. A glorious time to be a State fan, says Lynn Rhodes Gilmer in beautiful Sullivan, Alabama. Karen Morgan DeWeese checking in from Petal, Mississippi. Steve C. says, we've got a chance. We've got a chance. We certainly have a chance. We have given ourselves a chance. Hale State from Birmingham, Deanne Johnson. Sup, Brandon, says Mark Mackey Callahan. Hale State, Tracy Davis in Point City. Tim Dahl says Brandon Walker for mayor. That's. I might have to do it. I did not like that tweet from the Starkville mayor. Now, I'm sure she does a fine job. I don't know anything about what it takes to be Starkville mayor, but I wasn't a fan of that tweet. Maroon and white kind of day in Loveland, Colorado. Joe Goldman. Hale State, Carol Wood from Harrison, Arkansas. Bill Gray from Cleveland, Mississippi. Hashtag Rally Banana from Chad Mask. I actually got a banana. I was going to do the Rally Banana thing on the show, but I ate it. I got it I took it from downstairs, but I ate it. Visited Notre Dame this weekend. No doubt State has the most beautiful campus in the country, says Paula Smallwood Dobbs. Tanya Benny checking in from Newburgh, Indiana. Wesley Parrish from Starkville. Gaucher, Mississippi is back. Hale State, Matt Thornton. And Jonathan Philly, I'm not aware if she is or if she isn't, but I might have to. New mayor of Starkville, Brandon Walker. Not a bad nickname anyway. Morning, Brandon. Hale State from Orange County, California. Ed Garcia. State pitching staff has thrown around 300 more pitches than OU in this tourney, says Flint Williamson. Beverly Hill Mormon in Olive Branch, Mississippi. It's our time. Hale State. D. Curtis is up. Got all my vacation days set up for football season. Fantastic. Good news, D. Curtis. Savannah, Georgia. Philip Suckup. Vicky Ray says, hey, boo, that's my mom. That's my mother. She's checking in. Steve C. says, if Brandon is elected mayor, I'm moving to Point City. I'm kind of honorary mayor over there, too. Hale State from Point City, David Perry. So, today we're going to talk. Oh, Niceville, Florida's here. Mary Dyer Hoth, Niceville, Florida, home of the Eagles, the Niceville Eagles. I love Niceville, Florida, one of my favorite towns on this earth. My kids went to Rocky Bayou Christian School for a couple of years. Hale State from Lower Alabama, Max Maxwell. Birmingham, Derek Myers. Snohomish, Washington via Madison, Mississippi, Bill Anderson. All right, so we are going to talk about baseball. Why wouldn't you? Mississippi State on the verge of possibly moving through to a super regional. Mississippi State plays Oklahoma in what? An hour and 8 minutes? Big time game. Mississippi State chance to go to another super regional, third straight year, actually. Yeah, I don't know what you say. Incredible team. They battle back through so much adversity. They have done incredible things. Elijah McNamee enters Bulldog legendary status. That's what he did on Saturday with that walk-off home run to eliminate FSU. And I gotta say, yeah, you know, on the ESPN broadcast, I have a feeling so many State fans and other media are misremembering Burke Masters' home run. It's the most iconic moment in Mississippi State baseball history. But, you know, Dave Neal, who I love on ESPN the other day or whatever channel we were watching, he said, you know, that's reminiscent of the Burke Masters walk-off in 1990. Well, Burke Masters' home run wasn't a walk-off. State was the visiting team that day. They were it was at State, but State was batting in the top of the ninth. It was not a walk-off. And I've seen other guys say, you know, it was a walk-off. It wasn't. But Elijah McNamee, down to Mississippi State's final strike, hits a walk-off home run, and Mississippi State still playing down in Tallahassee. Worthless at work today, Martin Smith. The excitement is killing me. Brian Rogers says TCU coach liked my tweet on Friday and then backed out on a Sunday. I'm not convinced he backed out on us. Like, I know that's what it looks like, but it just seems, I don't know. I don't know if we backed out on him, if we allowed him to look like he backed out on us. I don't know. But last week, it just seemed like he was ready to leave TCU. Everything he was saying publicly lined up with him coming to Mississippi State. I don't know if that opportunity is still available to him. That's all. Now, I don't know if that means another coach. I don't know what it means. It's just things don't really make sense on the surface. That Danny dude was from FSU was all in his feelings, says Derek Myers. What else you got here? Dave Neal also said Cole Gordon threw his career high in innings last night. Not the last time he will be wrong. Mary Deerhoff. I'm sorry. I apologize, Mary Deerhoff, down in Niceville, right on top of the Choctawhatchee Bay. Team of Destiny, hashtag Hail State, play today on my mom's birthday. I'm sure she's looking down from heaven. Will be watching with me. James Runnyway, that's a beautiful sentiment. So we'll go ahead and go to the show on that. Number one, we're going to talk about baseball this weekend. Number two, we're going to talk about the incredible recruiting weekend Joe Moorhead enjoyed. Number three, we'll talk about Ben Howland joining the recruiting fun. Number four, we'll talk about Jim Schlossnagel eliminating himself or whatever happened with that from the baseball search. And 2-minute drill, just 3 questions today at the end of the show. Brief 2-minute drill because this show is loaded. We got a lot to talk about. Terp, let's go.
It's the More Cowbell Show, brought to you by SEC Country. And now, your host of the More Cowbell Show, Brandon Walker.
That's me, More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast here on SEC Country for now. Coming to you from the SEC Country studios on a beautiful, gorgeous, clear sky day here in Atlanta, Georgia. I got Terp doing a great job on the other side of the glass. I got Landshark doing a job on the other side of the glass. They are both trying their best. But we have got a loaded show. So much happened this weekend. There's so much to talk about. Usually I have to get on here and just BS my way through it. I just have to say, oh, it's middle of May. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Today I know exactly what I'm going to talk about. So much happened in baseball. So much happened in football. Something happened in basketball. So much to talk about. Mississippi State baseball, what can you say about these guys? Mississippi State football, 3 commitments as recruiting camps open. Mississippi State basketball gets a power forward for the future. Jim Schlossnagel decides he wants to go back to Fort Worth. Okay, whatever. We'll see you. And we'll have a 2-minute drill at the end of the show. I got a lot of business to take care of before we get to everything else. Landshark, if we can start running through the logos here, let's go ahead. My new show, which as soon as we end here on June 30th at SEC Country, SEC Country is closing, I'm continuing this show. I'm doing it on my own. I've started my own Facebook page. Oh, that's the email. I've started my own Facebook page, Facebook.com/The More Cowbell Show. Facebook.com/The More Cowbell Show. Please go like that page, and you'll be privy to these videos and everything else I'm going to do from there. I'm also working on a website I'll have shortly, probably by the end of the week. Number 2, I need a little help. We'll need a little help to go out in business my own. I need some launch money. Patreon.com/More Cowbell if you'd like to help me out. That sets up a little monthly deal. I appreciate it if you would look at that. If you want to email me, if you want to talk to me, Brandon Walker here on the More Cowbell Show, morecowbellshow@gmail.com. That's morecowbellshow@gmail.com. Please, whatever you'd like to say, if you want to holler at me, give me a shout out, tell me I'm ugly, whatever. Don't care. Mama, please don't tell me I'm ugly. Now, that's morecowbellshow@gmail.com. I am wearing my favorite shirt that I own right now. This is my favorite shirt. It is a Mississippi State polo from Maroon & Company with a cowbell logo on the chest. I love this shirt so much. It is my favorite Mississippi State shirt that I currently own, and I got it at Maroon & Company on Highway 12 in Starkville, at Maroon & Co. on Twitter and on Instagram. Apparently you can go to Instagram and look up Maroon & Company. If you like a picture, you can buy it right from Instagram. That is amazing. Isn't technology grand? No more rotary phones for us here in Mississippi. Nope. We can buy crap right off of Instagram, but it's not crap. It's Maroon & Company. It's incredible. Go to maroonandco.com. You'll get lost on that website. Go to their Twitter. Go to their Instagram. It's an incredible place. I love it. Yeah, there you go. Maroon & Company. Now, today, we're going to talk about baseball. Wow. What a weekend. On Friday, I watched just like you watched. I got disappointed just like you got disappointed. State leads 10-7. All of a sudden, Oklahoma scores from everywhere. They beat us 20-10, and I began to think, well, I guess, should I go to that press conference on Monday announcing the new coach? Should I go to Starkville? What should I do? But not so fast. Not so fast. It's Monday, and Mississippi State is still playing. Backs against the wall. Elijah McNamee hits a 3-run home run to beat Florida State. We'll play that in a minute. Landshark, not quite yet. And then you play Samford in an elimination game. You play Oklahoma in an elimination game. 3 straight games in an elimination game. Mississippi State beats everybody, and they put themselves in position to go to a super regional if they can win today. That game starts in about 1 hour from now, 1 o'clock Eastern, noon Central Time. Mississippi State with an incredible baseball weekend. I heard a stat last night. In regional games, the last 2 years, Mississippi State has now won their last 7 elimination games. They lost their first game in Hattiesburg last year, won 4 in a row. They lost their first game in Tallahassee this year and have won 3 in a row and have a chance to win 4 in a row. That is incredible. What a microcosm of this season. The season starts with Andy Cannizaro pulling what he pulled, or I guess somebody else pulled it for him. But it starts with Andy Cannizaro doing what he did, and he's gone. You go 0-3 against Southern Miss. You start 2-7. Did I not ring the bell? What are you guys there for if you're not going to tell me to ring the bell? Sorry. You start off 2-7 in SEC play. You start off by getting swept by Southern Miss, and everything looks bad. Everything looks terrible. But you go 10-1 against top 5 teams. You beat Ole Miss 3 out of 4. You beat Florida. You sweep Florida. You sweep Arkansas. And these are national title contenders, and State goes out and sweeps them. So you think there's something there. And they get to regionals. They lose to Oklahoma. Jake Mangum, Rowdy Jordan. I'll go all the way down the list. Elijah McNamee. These guys refuse to get beat. They refuse to give in. Flashback to Saturday. It's 2-0. Mike Martin has run out a starter that pitched 109 pitches, has taken a 2.5-hour break, and he stupidly brings him back out for the 9th inning. And Mississippi State takes advantage. Elijah McNamee steps to the plate. State is being shut out. State down to its final strike, 0-2 with 2 outs. And Elijah McNamee does this.
Off speed, high in the air, deep to left field. A walk-off for the Bulldogs. They stay alive in Tallahassee.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I love every bit of it. Look at him walking off all sad. Your coach failed you, buddy. Jake Mangum almost kills a guy right there. I love everything about this video. I love everything about that moment. It's one of my favorite moments in Mississippi State baseball history. Elijah McNamee now going down the line, getting fans pumped up. You're down to your last strike. You fought through with an interim coach this year. You fought through more adversity than any baseball team I can remember in the last couple of years. Elijah McNamee takes a change up 400 feet and keeps Mississippi State alive. Well, it doesn't matter if you don't go on and beat Sanford. It doesn't matter if you don't go ahead and beat Oklahoma, and those two things have happened. We also have Jim Ellis's call on this, right? Let's go ahead and play Jim Ellis's call, too, because Jim, one of the best.
Got a chance! Gone! 3-run homer! McNamee leaping around the bases. Mississippi State has shocked Florida State and will stay alive and play some more in 2018.
Goosebumps. Absolute goosebumps. Boy, Jake Mangum almost killed that guy for real. But absolute goosebumps as McNamee hits that. And the Jim Ellis call is better than Dave Neal call. Dave Neal call is pretty good. Although got a chance wasn't very accurate because that ball was gone. That was a bomb. What an incredible turn of events. What an incredible showing by this team. What guts, what courage, what you know what I want to say, but I'm stopping short of saying it. It's not my show yet. So I'm not going to say I'm just going to say guts and courage. Somebody on the Facebook Live says, shouldn't Henderson at least be considered for the job? Or no, why or why not? Gary Henderson should not be considered for the job. Gary Henderson did a very good job as a stopgap to get it to the next guy. Mississippi State baseball has plans that are bigger than Gary Henderson. I'm just laying it out there. Listen, he's done a great job. I'm not sure he wants the head coaching job at Mississippi State University. He is doing a fine job getting this team through right now. But long term, we'll get to Schlossnagle, we'll get to the coaching hire in a minute. Long term, I think State is aiming for a bigger name than Gary Henderson, and that's okay. That's okay. He's been paid handsomely this year. He's probably going to get rewarded for a head coaching job somewhere. It just might not be in Starkville. But anyway, that's not that important right now. What's important is this team is an hour away from playing for a regional championship, and 3 days ago, nobody thought it was possible, me included. It's a credit to Jake Mangum. It's a credit to every player on this team. This team won't go. This team, if they go to the College World Series, great. If they go to Super Regional, great. They're already one of my favorite teams ever, just because the way they've responded to adversity. You can't count them out. You can't throw dirt on them. Every time you prepare to throw dirt on them, they get up and throw the dirt in your face. You know, it wasn't just a big weekend in baseball. Mississippi State football made a lot of noise this weekend. A lot of noise regionally, locally, and nationally. Joe Moorhead is showing that the old recruiting in Mississippi State is over. Joe Moorhead has turned the page in Mississippi State recruiting. What happened last week? Saturday was the first day of, or Friday, excuse me. Friday was the first day of the summer camp season, the summer camp circuit where players are going everywhere. They're getting offers. They're committing. The summer camp circuit is where a lot happens in recruiting, and that opened up last week. Well, how does Joe Moorhead respond? Saturday, he adds 3 players to his 2019 list of commitments, and they weren't just 3 players. These are 3 big-time football players. I'll talk about Jerrion Jones first. Jerrion Jones is a safety from Northwest Rankin, 6'2", 200. He is a big-time player. He is, I think he's the third highest rated player in the state of Mississippi for this year. Jerrion Jones is a serious football player. He was committed to Oklahoma. He committed there about a month ago, maybe six weeks ago, and he has offers from Alabama and everybody. But Joe Moorhead got him back on Saturday. I would like to thank fans, players, and coaches from Oklahoma. The level of love and appreciation I've received is amazing. It's time that I set my own standards and create a legacy. This experience has been crazy, but I can't do my state like this. With that being said, I would like to flip my commitment to Mississippi State University. Jerrion Jones, a big-time football player, gets back in the boat, joins Mississippi State's class once again. But that wasn't it on Saturday. He was the last of the 3, actually. He was the middle of the 3. The first one, Jack Harris, a 6'2", 230-pound defensive end / outside linebacker hybrid, a very athletic player from down at Oak Grove High School in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Jack Harris says, I'm staying home. After a lot of thoughtful consideration and prayer, I would like to personally thank all the coaches and football programs who have recruited and had faith in me. I'm so blessed to announce my commitment to Mississippi State University. Now, right there, that's a heck of a day. That's a great day. Dan Mullen and company would have called it a day then. They would have been in the bed, wouldn't have worried about offensive line recruiting, but this is a new day in recruiting. Joe Moorhead wasn't finished. About 10 o'clock, maybe 11 o'clock Eastern on Saturday night, he sends out the bat signal that he's got another commitment. Joe Moorhead always sends ring the bell on Twitter, stuff like that. And I see it at 11 o'clock. I'm thinking, Coach, I've had too much good news today. I can't handle this. My fragile psyche can't be this excited. I'm a Mississippi State fan. I can't be this happy in one day. But he didn't care. Darius Washington, a 6'4", 300-pound offensive lineman out of the Pensacola area, West Florida Tech, committed to Mississippi State. There it is. This hasn't been an easy journey or decision, but with the support of my family, I've decided to commit to Mississippi State University. And he ain't kidding about his family, because right there in that picture with Joe Moorhead, he took his entire family. He took half of Pensacola, Florida, to his visit at Mississippi State. They saw it. He is now committed to Mississippi State. That's 3 big-time commitments on Saturday. Jerry Jones, Jack Harris, Darius Washington. This is one heck of a start to the summer recruiting season. Mississippi State now 13th in the country, according to 24/7 Sports. Those 3 commits push Mississippi State up past LSU, past Ole Miss. That's right, past Ole Miss. Your fake commitments and the guys that are going to play baseball and everything that you organized early to try to be up on the top didn't work, did it? Mississippi State now ahead of Ole Miss in recruiting. I just look at it from a defensive point of view. Now, Mississippi State, Joe Moorhead is going to have a good offense at Mississippi State, but defensively, I think the defense is going to drive the bus in 2018. That's how good they're going to be. They'll lose a lot of players, but you're just restocking that defense. Jack Harris, now you add in Jerry and Jones. Your top 4 rated commits are all defensive players. Charles Moore from Louisville, Ani Ezechukwu from Nashville, Jerry and Jones, and DeMonte Russell, all in the top 250 in the country, and all defensive players. You are getting loaded on that side of the ball. And that's with Nathan Pickering, other guys still out there. Derek Hall, linebacker from Gulfport. You're adding players to every level of the defense. It's very exciting. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This coaching staff recruits better than the last coaching staff. When Moorhead was hired, we immediately said, can he recruit down here? He's never been down here. Can he possibly recruit? And I even asked him that in person, what about that? And he said, if you can recruit, you can recruit. If you can coach, you can coach. Doesn't matter where you are. And this guy is more personable. He's more likable. This staff is more aggressive. This staff is more in tune to what recruits want. This staff is going after bigger fish. This staff is not scared. This staff is better than the last one. We upgraded the coaching staff in recruiting. We'll have to wait and find out this fall if we've recruited on the sideline and during games, or if we've upgraded during sidelines and upgraded during games. But I can tell you right now, on June 4th, 2018, or 5th, I have no idea what today is. This is 4th. Thank you very much. This coaching staff is better at recruiting than the last one, and that is exciting. Ben Howland never had a problem recruiting. Ben Howland adds a commitment of his own. Ben Howland adds Prince Aduro, which is my new favorite name in Mississippi State basketball history. Prince Aduro is a 6'9", 254-pound power forward from Siena, a mid-major Siena. Very good program. Prince Aduro, 6'8", 254, averaged 9 points, 5 rebounds as a freshman at Siena. He will not play this year. He will sit out 1 year at Mississippi State. And Mississippi State has Reggie Perry, and they got Eric Holman. They got other players at the power forward spot. But this is a move for the future. This is a very talented guy, 9 points, 5 rebounds as a freshman in college basketball. Doesn't matter where you are, that's pretty good. 6'8", 254, this is a banger. This is not Eric Holman. This is not a stretch 4. This is somebody in the Russell Walters type mold that's going to get down there and get physical. It's a Brandon Vincent who's going to get down there and do the nasty, dirty stuff. I am very excited about this. Prince Aduro, as it's been fascinating watching Ben Howland put this chessboard together. He had the big class a couple of years ago, but ever since then, he's just kind of placing and mixing and matching players here and there, and you can tell he is going for toughness down low. He's not really going for scoring. He's not really going for that. He's going for toughness. He added Jethro Shasumpa, a shot-blocking rebounder, 6'10", 254 or 255 from JUCO for this team this year. Now he's adding 6'8", 254, a banger of a power forward. He is getting tougher down low, and that's going to help. As Mississippi State's guard play is where it needs to be a deep team in the NCAA tournament, but the post play isn't really there. You're not really tough enough down low. Tennessee knocked us around. Auburn knocked us around. With these guys, we're not going to get knocked around anymore. Jim Schlossnagle, we thought, was going to be Mississippi State's new baseball coach. I thought it. I had no hard data. Nobody called me and said, hey, Jim Schlossnagle is going to be the new head coach. But everything seemed to be pointing in that direction. On Sunday night, Kendall Rogers with D1 Baseball, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, Kendall Rogers covers his sport better than probably anybody else covers their sport in all of sports media. Unfortunately for him, it's college baseball, so he's never going to be a huge name nationally. He's never going to be an ESPN personality, but he covers his sport as well as anybody. He tweets out last night that Jim Schlossnagle has withdrawn from consideration at Mississippi State and will return to TCU. Now, immediately, when I heard that, I'm like, oh no, our coach candidate, the leading candidate, withdrew. That's bad for Mississippi State. But the more I thought about it, that explanation doesn't really make sense. That doesn't hold water. There has to be more there. There has to be more. If you listen to his comments in the media last week, if you listen to Jim Schlossnagle talking about, maybe it's time, I'll listen to him, maybe it's time to go. He was all but gone from TCU. He was all but gone. And TCU, from their fans, their administration, they were no commenting. It looked like they were all but gone from Jim Schlossnagle. They had resigned themselves to the fact that he was headed to Mississippi State. And behind the scenes, Mississippi State fans, started to talk, it's going to be him, it's going to be him. John Cohen never said it's going to be him. And the more I look at it, the more I think, I'm not sure Jim Schlossnagle walked away from Mississippi State as much as Mississippi State kind of walked away from Jim Schlossnagle. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means they've got an agreement with somebody else. I don't know if that means they just something went wrong. I don't know what it means, but the explanation that Schlossnagle took his name out of the running doesn't hold water. It doesn't make sense given the media environment, given what we've seen, given the public face of what has happened so far. That doesn't make sense. Now, it doesn't really matter why it happened. All that matters now is State's going to hire a new coach, and it's not going to be Schlossnagle. Take him out. State still needs a new head coach. Is it Dan McDonnell? Is it Tim Corbin? Is it Tim Tadlock? Is it somebody not on that list? Who could possibly be the new head coach of Mississippi State? The whole time, I was hoping the new hire came from the group of Schlossnagle and McDonnell. Those were the two names. And I couldn't really decide. I like McDonnell. I like Schlossnagle. Either one would have been fine for me. When it became clear that it could have been Schlossnagle, or at least we thought it became clear, I was good. I was on board with it. But now, if Schlossnagle is eliminated, I think Dan McDonnell has to be target number one, doesn't he? The coach at Louisville has gone to 4 College World Series. He has changed the program up there. I would hope he's target number one. Now, I don't know. Maybe it's Tim Tadlock. Maybe it's Tim Corbin. Maybe it's somebody else. I don't know. But this is going to be very interesting because Louisville has been eliminated. They're out. So there's nothing stopping that train from getting on the tracks and happening. And we'll just have to see what happens. I hope it happens quickly as the draft. Is the draft tonight? Why is the Major League Baseball draft right in college baseball's prime postseason? That doesn't seem fair to the players, the universities. Doesn't seem fair to anybody. 2-minute drill. Only got 3 questions. Actually, I got a 4th. Terp added a 4th. Number 1, if you could have anybody, who is your choice for Mississippi State's new baseball coach? Who is your choice? Albert Barnett says, some of our fans' disrespect for the job Henderson has done may be taking some of the luster off the opportunity. Please be grateful and let John do his job. I don't think any coach who would be looking at Mississippi State is going to be affected by Gary Henderson at all. I think no. I disagree with that. Mike Bianco, Ron Polk, Mark McGuire, what is happening? Did you guys get together and say we're just all going to give him the dumbest answers possible? McDonnell, yes. McDonnell, yes. McDonnell. Tim Corbin says Randall Collins. McDonnell. Ron Polk says Heather Hollis Reese. The Louisville coach, that's McDonnell. John Cohen says Dan Adams. I think he has a job. I think he's okay. It's always been McDonnell, says Kevin Wright. Schlossnagle pulling out like he did makes me think it's always been McDonnell. It really does. But I don't really want to say that because what if it's not? But I hope it is. Man, I hope it is. Raffo, McDonald, Coach Walker. Thank you, Lance. Tim Lee says Jake Gautreau. I don't think he's ready for that. Tim Corbin, McDonald. Brandon Walker says Jason Brinson. Number 2, very easy question. Given what has happened, this team playing the way they are, all these players taking steps forward, McNamee doing what he did, Rowdy Jordan, Dustin Skelton, Jake Mangum, all these players having such great weekends. Who is your favorite player on this Mississippi State baseball team? Maybe it was Mangum before. Has it changed? Maybe, I don't know. Who is your favorite player on this baseball team? Andrew Madden says Shrek. I'm not sure he's on the baseball team. Mac McBrayer, you're looking for a job, right? I am looking for a job. Banana DH guy, that's Westberg, right? Mangum, McNamee, Mangum, Rowdy Jordan. I love the name Rowdy Jordan so much. It's just the best baseball name ever. Rowdy, 15. I think that's Jake Mangum. Jake Mangum's going to win this. And Mangum's a good player. Mangum's a very good player. Stan C. Riddle says all of them. Willie Vanderbrink says the guy with the banana. Jason Brinson says that's hard. Can it be the whole team? If you want, I don't care. There's no rules here. If you need a job, we need a coach, says Blair Chandler. I'm going to be going into business myself. I'm going to be okay. By the way, if you have any 3 or 4 bedroom houses in Starkville, holler at your boy. Number 3 on the 2-minute drill. Keep it clean. I saw Derek Myers is here. Please, Derek, keep it clean. Give me your 1-sentence reaction to the way you reacted when Elijah McNamee hit that home run. Give me your 1-sentence reaction. Please keep it PG. That's all I ask. To Elijah McNamee hitting that home run on Saturday. If we win today, do we host the Super? I probably not. It's going to be, NCAA is going to make that decision. I would lean towards, I think they're going to pick Nashville. But Chris Phillips says, holy blank, blank, blank. Is there any way Mangum stays, says Jay Madison? No, I don't think so. Ray Stacker, good. I was spellbound. Dumbfounded. Brian Siff says, holy poop emoji. Ginger Tuck just says, damn. Kevin Wright says, I almost punched my wife in the face while listening to it in the car. Thank goodness you didn't. Oh my gosh, says Steven Stafford. Holy expletives. You guys are kind of making a PG. Almost had a car wreck, says Steve Whittington. Chris Wilson, I stepped away. Well, Chris, you now have to step away every single time Mississippi State is in that situation. I'm sorry. What the F just happened, says Martin Smith. What the heck just happened, says Kenny Manning. 2 very different reactions. I jumped up screaming walk off. I jumped up screaming get up, get up, get up, like I didn't know it was gone. I don't know why I said get up. Maybe I was talking to myself, but I was excited. And number 4, last 2-minute drill question. I borrowed this one from Terp. He asked me right before I went on the air. Ice cream snack in the freezer. Which one's better, fudge sickles or ice cream sandwiches? Fudge sickles or ice cream sandwiches? It's ice cream sandwiches. Ice cream sandwiches are incredible.
I disagree. It's fudge sickles.
You think it's fudge sickles?
Mm-hmm. You don't get messy. You have all the ice cream on your fingers.
Yeah. I love ice cream sandwiches. I do. I love sandwiches. I love ice cream. You put them together. And ice cream sandwiches in a route over here. And an absolute route. Heather Hollis Reese says ice cream sandwich, no question. You can, if you want to write one in here that we didn't think of, please write one in. So somebody says Eskimo pie. Terp has no business commenting on food. He just asked a question. That's all. He just asked a question.
Mm-hmm.
Terp has class. He's from Maryland. He's from Georgia. He's not from Maryland.
Not from Georgia.
Huh?
From Virginia.
When did you become from Virginia?
When I was born.
How long did you live in Virginia?
2 years.
And how long did you live in Georgia?
Probably like 18.
You're from Georgia. Sorry.
No, I'm not.
You just said you were screaming, get up, get up. Yeah, usually it's my wife screaming that. That's why ice cream sandwiches, not even close. All right. Vandy cannot outbid us, says Jay Hammers. I don't know. I don't know. Both have a good case. Mississippi State has a higher RPI than Vandy. Vandy beat Mississippi State, although I don't think head-to-head should really matter. Ice cream sandwiches are delicious. I'll go ahead and shut the podcast down. I'm going to stay with Facebook Live for about 10 more minutes. Thank you for being here on the podcast. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to have Steve Robertson on the show to talk about Mississippi State's 3 newest commitments, including Jerry Jones, Jack Harris, and Darius Washington. Steve will be here tomorrow to talk about that. Until next time on the podcast, my name is Brandon Walker. You've been listening to More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast on SEC Country. Announcer said winner plays Vandy. Yeah, we know we play Vanderbilt. If we were to win, we know we play Vanderbilt. We just don't know where we'd play them. Nashville has the Country Music Awards going on, no hotels. I'm just not sure the NCAA is going to really care about that as much as y'all want them to. That's what I think. Money is what matters in the bidding war. RPI means nothing. Jay Hammers, I believe they changed the rules. Didn't they change the rules to favor, in situations like that, to not favor the team with the bigger stadium so much? I believe they have changed the rules on that. The bigger stadium doesn't matter as much as it used to. The bigger crowd doesn't matter as much as it used to. It just doesn't. But I would agree. Let's win. And whether we play in Nashville or Starkville or Bozeman, Montana, doesn't matter. Let's just play it. Vandy is too small, says Steve C. You need a classy send-off like Paul Harvey did, Donnie Caffey. I've been called the Paul Harvey of my generation. Isn't that what you call me? Thank you. You look nice in your blazer today. By the way, you guys will be watching. I'm not talking to you. You look terrible. By the way, you guys will be watching the baseball game, and I wish I could, at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, 2 o'clock Central. Landshark and I will both be on SEC Country Live, the big show here on SEC Country. We'll be doing that, her and me and Alabama All-American Mike Johnson. Who's the higher seed? Both are 2 seeds, Steve Hill, but we went to the number 7 national seed. Vanderbilt went to the number 10 national seed. So if you extrapolate from that, Vanderbilt would have been a higher 2 seed. Vandy can hold like 3,000 max. Ours is 11,000, not counting upper deck. I don't know what you guys. Is the mic working? The mic's working, right? I just don't know that the size of the stadium is going to favor us this time like it did against Clemson in 2007. I hope it does. When you go on your own, will you give us more time? Gray Stack are good. When I go on my own, if you guys help me, I'll give you all the time in the world. All the time in the world. Katrina Burns checking in from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Sorry about that, Katrina. Tough break. Is it bad I spent my anniversary dinner stretching to see the TV at the bar when McNamee hit the home run? My husband is very understanding, says Heather Hollis Reese. No, what's bad here is wasn't the home run by McNamee at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon? What I thought the McNamee home run was Saturday afternoon, like 3 o'clock. Why were you eating your anniversary dinner at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? That's my question. Can you put up your Patreon thingy for a second? She wants my Patreon thingy up there. Thank God she said Patreon. Heather Hollis Reese says, yes, we are old. You're not old. Weren't you in college in like 2006 playing basketball? You're not old. We're still talking about the NCAA, right? It's all about the money. Donald Grantham. While it is, oh, you're right. It wasn't at 3 o'clock because there was that 2-hour rain delay. But it's still, it's like 5:30ish. It's still too early to be eating your anniversary dinner. That's the point. Still only 5K or so, says Drew Newell at Vanderbilt, I would assume. I hope if Mississippi State wins, we host the Super Regional. I do. I don't think it's going to happen. That's all. Facebook.com/The More Cowbell Show. You like that page, and that's where we'll be from now on. Very, very soon. We're up to 2,000 people. Heather Hollis Reese says it was early. Got to go with what babysitter you have. Okay, that's fair enough. I understand that. I definitely understand that. Although I don't hire babysitters. I just give my kids a $20 bill and wish them the best of luck. They changed the rules for regionals regarding the stadium, but supers are based on money, says Jay Hammers. Okay, if you're right on that, you're right. If that's the case, state will get the super regional. I don't know. Hal Curvin says, Hail State. Jessica Elm Balsley just laughs. Derek Whitford says, let's just win this game. How about that? You know, let's win this game. Whatever happens, happens. Whatever happens, happens. We'll be in a super regional regardless. And I like that it would be against Vanderbilt, a team that swept us in the first SEC week of the season. I like that. Well, no matter where we play, I like playing Vanderbilt, a team that swept us. Because this team isn't the same one they swept. These circumstances aren't the same one they swept under. With the way things are going, you and Steve might be talking about more than 3 commits. Wade Glass, that would be lovely. That would be fantastic. Luke Hemphill says, y'all are getting way ahead. We got to win first. I agree. Excuse me, I had something in my eye. Let's just worry about Oklahoma today, and the rest will work itself out, says Josh Green. An architect working on construction messaged Bo Bounds this morning and said Duty Noble can host over 10,000 at the moment. Jordan Goose Worrell. I was wondering what Bo Bounds' text messages look like this morning. There are unfortunately 2 whistlers, says Chris Phillips. If it is in Starkville, why? I'm not going to incite anything against these guys, but how has nobody ever confronted those guys? Surely they have, right? Bill Anderson says Facepalm Friday shows. When I go on my own, you'll have your Friday show. When I go on my own, you'll have your Friday show. Only if we win and then bid. Do you think Cohen would bid with construction going full tilt again? So I'm pretty sure bids have already happened. I think don't teams have to put in the super regional bids before the regionals start? I think bids have already happened. And I would assume that state has made a bid, like they'd be fools not to. How early is too early to start drinking today? Well, there's a baseball game on. You can start drinking your first pitch. Or drinking now. I don't know. You're a grown man. Drink whenever you want to. You have to bid by May 18th, says John Holiday. So I would assume Mississippi State has had a bid in since before May 18th. Jara Williams Akins. I'm sorry. Can you tell me how to say that? I don't want to mess your name up. Says claps to the Friday shows. Thank you very much. They have, and the Whistlers have multiple lawsuits against people who confront them. That makes sense. Well, these guys seem like Ole Miss fans. If you were offered a house for free there, would you move to Oxford? I would not. No, I would not. Is that stupid? Is that wrong-headed? Maybe. But no. There's no way I'm living among that group. Can't do it. And I know some state fans in Oxford. God bless you. But I couldn't do it. 5 o'clock somewhere, says Chris Van Zant. Although I never really liked that saying. Because it's only 5 o'clock somewhere if the hour you are currently in is on the top of the hour. It's only 5 o'clock somewhere if it's 1 o'clock, or if it's 2 o'clock, it's 3 o'clock. Like right now, it's 12:30. It ain't 5 o'clock somewhere. It might be 5:30 somewhere. Sorry. Get a little worked up. Rhymes with Sarah, so easy it's hard, says Jara Williams Akins. Thank you. Thank you, Jara. Unless you pronounce Sarah like Sarah, which puts us right back where we were. Not no, but hell no, says Stan C. Riddle, and Karen Morgan DeWeese also says hell no. Josh Green, haha, me either. Derek Myers would burn the city down. Derek, you need to calm some things down in your life. I feel like I need to call you every day and just say, hey, let's take it one step at a time. Ray Stacker Good says you're too logical. Thank you very much. I've heard that when people confront the Whistlers, they blow up, make a big deal about it, and then call security on you. Well, I would say security needs to be occupied when that happens. I work with a guy with a house for sale in Starkville, Drew Newell. Danny E. Pinter says never Oxford. All right, okay. I guess we're over time, aren't we? Landshark, you ready to wrap it up? We'll have Steve on the show tomorrow to talk recruiting. Talk about the 3 recruits Mississippi State just got, and hopefully we'll be talking about Mississippi State playing in a super regional against Vanderbilt in 29 minutes, first pitch. So, guys, going to be a big weekend or a big day. Mississippi State has played its way into a huge game. Can't wait to watch it. And I'm going to ring the bell one more time. Hail State. So, my name is Brandon Walker. You've been watching More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country.